Hello everyone, my name is Rodrigo. I am an international speaker, also a published author, and I'm here today to teach you how an AI model or an LLM actually works, so you understand how to set up all of these agent tools in a secure and in a compliant way and make the most of them. So let's start very simple. So if I say the monkey ate a, you're gonna think about a banana, probably. If you say the kid built a sand, you're gonna say castle. If I say it's raining cats and, you're probably gonna say dog. And if I say peanut butter and, some of you are gonna say jelly, some of you are gonna say jam. And that is exactly how an LLM or large language model actually works. They are very good, very precise predicting machines. So what it does, it predicts the next tiny chunk of information or text, feeds that to itself again, and predicts the next one. So if I say the monkey, it's gonna think most of the books would say 8, and it's gonna input that information again, and it's gonna do that process again, and now that it has a phrase that it's the monkey ate, it's gonna analyze and say a banana. And then by predicting the most likely outcome of the next piece of information, it's able to build very complex sentences or paragraphs or whole articles for you. And in a nutshell, that is how an AI model works. There are several types of AI tools, and today I'm going to show you the 3 most important ones that you need to know. First, we have the generative tools, chat interface, things like Claude, like ChatGPT, like Gemini, and so on. They have custom instruction section for you to put who you are and how you want them to act. They give you an asset as an outcome. For example, if I type something, I receive a text back, or if the tool is a tool that creates video, I can describe what I want and the asset that I get back is a video. That's most simple, the ones everyone know. Then we have automation tools, very specific tools, very beneficial if you want to automate things, repetitive tasks. These are the tools that you actually want to use. They are based on an environment and what we call nodes or modules, and each module represents one action. These are usually linear automations, and basically what they do is grab the information from module 1, send it to module 2, then 3, 4, and so on. So you can automate things like if you have a client that submits a form because it's inquiring about a visa, you can grab all the information from that lead form or a capture form and pass it to AI. So AI can analyze all of the information, and then with that information, you can have another module that is gonna write a custom email for that person, and a 4th one that is gonna send an email back. So the experience for the person is I submit the form and I get a custom email back in a matter of minutes. You can start automating all sort of things. With this tool, there are several things that you can actually automate in your practice if you map out exactly what you want from them. Very useful type of AI tools, automation tools. Third, we have the coding tools, things like Claude Code or Codex or Base 44 or Lovable. There are several tools that do this. They have a preview space where you can see what's being created, like a website or software or any type of application. They rely a lot of different integrations. They're very technical, and what you can build with them is basically any type of software, any type of website, any type of application that you can use internally or externally. Very much a coding tool is the equivalent of a modern developer. Now we're gonna go back to the generative tools, the chat interface tools, because these are the ones that you're gonna see the most benefit in the short term. They are pretty advanced, and if you set them up in a compliant, secure way, you're gonna see the most benefit right away. So these are composed from different parts. There's the user, there's the app, which is the interface, the computer you're using, or your phone if you have it on your phone. There's something that we call context window, which is key. This is a key element that I want you to fully understand. And then there's the LLM, the AI model, or the brain of it, right? What we talked at the beginning. The content window is something that was developed a few years ago, and is everything that is passed as a context to the brain of the AI before actually gives you an answer. In this context window, you're going to find the instructions, the custom instructions, which define who you are, what you do, what is your practice like, what are the visas, for example, that you care about, what are the type of clients that you want, and so on. Then you have the user prompt, which is actually what you write every message. Then you have the memory, because now these AI agents are capable of research different chats. So if you have a conversation and then you come back a week after, you can have a completely different conversation and say like, hey, do you remember the conversation we had last week? And it's going to be able to capture that in this memory. Very important part of the context window. And probably the most useful is called tools. Tools are connectors between your AI agents and any other software that you use. If you're using Monday.com or any case management, modern case management tool, or your calendar or your email, you connect those via tools. So your AI agent is going to be capable, for example, of see an upcoming meeting in your calendar, see the emails that you have sent to that person, see the information from that person in the case management software or the CRM, and it's going to give you a one-page brief for you to read prior to the meeting, so you save a lot of time. The tools, the instructions, the user prompt, and the memory, those compose the context window, and the context window is something that is essential for you to set up properly, to map out what you want to add there for your AI agents to work properly. Now, let's move to the next one. This is how a context window would look like if you properly set up everything. So you're gonna have the instructions there, which contains your personal preferences, the project preferences, or your practice information, right? And your prompt, what you're writing to the AI agent. Then you have the tools and the skills. Skills is part of the tools as well. And you have your email connected, your calendar, your case management softwares. And also some of these AI agents are able to create docs, Excel, and PowerPoints for you. Every single agent is going to be able to create PDFs as well. And you have skills or plugins or automations, so you can automate these processes. Let's say you want a daily digest. You're going to write down a skill. We call that a skill. And you're going to teach the AI agent to read your calendar, to read your email, to read your Monday.com instance, and then write a one page of a daily digest of things that are a priority for you. And then you can schedule that to run every day at 7 a.m. So you get to the office, you open your laptop, and the first thing you see is how your day looks like. Pretty much like a personal assistant for you. With all of this, you should understand now that the quality of the results that you're getting from your AI agent are not just the model, are not just what you type in. It's a mix of three very important factors. The quality of the LLM or AI model, how good it is, the quality of the prompt, how clear you're actually asking for a task, and the quality of the context window, all the tools, all the connections, everything that you put there for the AI agent to understand what you actually want. So you can think of an AI agent as the smartest intern you're ever gonna have, but your AI agent doesn't know you or doesn't know how you use your tools. So you need to give context as well. It needs an onboarding, it needs training, it needs to be taught, it needs to be given context, it needs to know not that it has an email connected, but also how do you write your emails? What is your tone? What is your voice? In which case you would send this email, in which case you're going to send a different email. So you need to train it, and all of that happens in the custom instructions. These are the things that you want to do even before you start working with AI or using an AI agent. First, you want to write down your pain points. You want to understand where is the friction, what are the things that you want AI take care of, where do you think in your operations that are repetitive tasks that could be automated. After that, you want to write down your cases, things like you spend a lot of time reading every form that gets submitted, and you would like AI, for example, to automate and tell you when a lead is a good lead for you, is a good fit as a client, and when it's not. So you just have a summary of those. Or you write down a case that you realize you spent a lot of time, for example, chasing tradies for them to write down the hours, to log their hours, for you to calculate how much experience they have. Of those cases, you actually want to write them down so you have clarity to understand where AI can help you. Then you want to write down your custom instructions. So who you are, what do you do, what's your practice specialty, what are the good leads, what are the bad leads, where you want AI to understand, how you actually operate your practice. Then you want to list your connectors. Everyone uses different softwares. You want to list down which case management software you use, understand if you can actually connect that to your AI agent, your CRM, your email tool, your calendar, your invoices, and so on. And finally, you want to write down the automations. Now that you understand where the pain points are, what are the cases, how you want the AI to behave, and what are the connectors that you can connect to your tool, you're gonna write down what skills or what automations you want to happen. I want AI to do exactly these 1, 2, 3 things for me, and those are gonna save me the most time. What can you do now? So this list is gonna give you a glimpse of what you can do. These are generic, but they apply to many, many industries. You can create a multilingual customer support that runs 24/7. You can create a social media engine that can actually publish on LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook. You can automate the newsletter creation and send. So you can have a monthly newsletter that gets written by AI and then sent by AI. You can automate reporting. For example, once a week, you can see how many cases you've closed. You can have a daily priority list for you to read like a personal assistant, and you can go and start your day without having to read too many emails. You can automate the client or the lead scoring, so you know where a lead is a good or a bad lead based on rules. For example, if you're working only with a 482 visa or a 186 visa, you can automate that process and you see this priority of the intake leads form or chat or whatever you're using. You can have custom email creation, auto follow-ups, you can have meeting recaps, obviously you can have email account profiles via standard document files, and so on. The list is unlimited, but the most important part is for you to write down your pain, your cases, so you can map out where do you see the most benefit. I want you now to understand the compounding effect of AI, because it's not about having a magic tool that is going to solve your life. It's about understanding your own practice, your business, to understand when and where you can embed AI that is going to take on repetitive tasks for you, and you can recover that time so you can focus on your best work. This table, for example, which is a real case, it has about 9 automations that save anywhere from 10 to 2 hours. And the total effect of this, it's 11 hours saved per week. That means that's more than 1 full day for one person. So as I said, you need to map out, you need to understand your practice. You don't want a magic tool because it doesn't exist. It's not about having louder AI, shinier tools. This is about having quiet confidence that runs in the back, that runs silently but securely and compliant. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.